Here's a full-length cinematic story draft for you, written in a long-flow narrative style, designed for a 6,000-word YouTube video. It's emotionally layered and paced to grip the audience all the way through. Asterisk billionaire president's wife. Ran into a homeless girl, unaware. She's her biological daughter. Asterisk. The night was cold. The kind of bone-deep cold that makes even the strongest feel small against the vast silence of the world. On the glittering streets of Washington, polished cars glided by with tinted windows and chauffeurs at the wheel, carrying people wrapped in furs and privilege. But in the corner of a dimly lit alley, a girl no older than 17 shivered, her thin frame wrapped in nothing but a torn sweater. Her hair was tangled, her face marked by the harshness of survival, and yet beneath the dirt and weariness, there was something striking, something fragile and unbroken, like a hidden ember refusing to die. She clutched a worn-out backpack to her chest as if it were the last shield between her and the merciless world. Her name was Lily, and she didn't know the identity of the woman whose world she was about to collide with, the First Lady of the United States. Wife of the billionaire president and unknowingly, her biological mother, asterisk before we dive deeper, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the power of hidden truths to change lives, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Stories Collection and share it with someone who needs hope today. And don't forget to comment your thoughts because stories live longer when we share them together. Asterisk the night Lily's fate shifted began as nothing more than another fight for survival. She had been sleeping on park benches for months, surviving on scraps, carrying the hollow ache of hunger in her stomach like an old friend. Her eyes carried a lifetime of pain no child should bear. Abandoned at birth and shuffled between foster homes that never kept her for long, she had finally ended up alone on the streets. Yet in her heart she carried a strange feeling like a piece of her was missing, like a name or a voice had been stolen from her past. Asterisk across the city, in the grandeur of the White House, First Lady Eleanor Pierce stood at the balcony staring out at the snow beginning to fall. She was dressed in elegance, the picture of dignity, but inside her heart was restless. To the world she was flawless, poised, graceful, a woman admired by millions for her philanthropy. But in the privacy of her thoughts she was haunted. Haunted by the memory of a choice she had made as a young woman, a choice she had buried deep beneath layers of duty and silence. A secret that had never stopped whispering inside her heart that once, long ago, she had given up a child. Asterisk her husband, President Alexander Pierce, was a man of great wealth and influence, born into empire and power. His vision had carried him to the presidency, but it was Eleanor's grace that had softened his image before the world. Together they were admired, envied, and untouchable, or so it seemed. Yet fate has a way of unraveling even the most carefully stitched lives. Asterisk that night, Eleanor insisted on doing something unusual. She wanted to step away from the cameras, the guards, the perfect arrangements, and quietly visit one of the shelters she funded in the city. She felt compelled, almost drawn by an invisible hand. Perhaps it was guilt, perhaps longing, or perhaps destiny itself moving her steps. She wrapped herself in a heavy coat and, against her staff's wishes, went into the night with only her driver. Asterisk the car stopped near a church where the homeless often gathered. As Eleanor stepped out, the wind bit her skin, and she walked with a quiet grace among those who had nothing. She gave blankets, spoke gentle words, handed out food. Cameras weren't there to capture it, but her heart needed it. Then, as she turned the corner of the church, she saw her. A girl, fragile and shaking, sitting on the ground, hugging a backpack as if it were her lifeline. Their eyes met, and in that instant, something unexplainable surged through Eleanor, the girl's eyes. Those deep hazel eyes with a fleck of gold. They were her mother's eyes. They were her own eyes. Asterisk Lily, too, felt something strange. She didn't know who the woman was beyond her expensive coat and delicate features, but something about her felt painfully familiar, like a dream long forgotten. Eleanor's breath caught in her throat, and for a moment she almost whispered the word that had been buried for 17 years, daughter. But she didn't. Instead she knelt, offering the girl a warm scarf. Lily hesitated but took it, her small hands brushing against Eleanor's. That touch sent a wave of ache through Eleanor's chest. The ache of a love denied. Days turned into weeks, and Eleanor couldn't forget the girl. She arranged for Lily to be brought into a shelter program quietly, without revealing her personal interest. Yet she found excuses to visit, to check in, to bring her food and clothes. She asked Lily about her life, and with time the girl opened up. Her story was painful, abandoned, forgotten, fighting the world alone. Eleanor's heart broke more with every detail. And yet, in her silence, she wondered, could it be? Could this girl be the child I lost? As suspicion grew, Eleanor secretly began searching. With every private phone call, every discreet file she requested, the truth inched closer. And then one evening, the confirmation came. A DNA test, run quietly without anyone's knowledge, landed on her desk. The paper trembled in her hands as tears blurred her vision. Lily wasn't just a girl she felt connected to. She was her daughter, the baby she had given up when she was too young, too pressured, too afraid. The baby she had thought would never return, but the truth brought more than joy, it brought fear. How would her husband react? How would the world react if they discovered the First Lady had abandoned a child? What would it mean for the president's image, for their carefully built empire? Eleanor's heart was torn between two worlds, the one she lived in, gilded imperfect, and the one her daughter had been left to suffer in. Lily, unaware of the truth, struggled with her own battles. Even though she had a bed now, she was plagued by mistrust. Years of neglect had taught her that kindness often had strings attached. But she couldn't deny the warmth she felt in Eleanor's presence. For the first time in her life, she felt seen, valued, cared for. She felt like she mattered. Yet shadows of doubt lingered. Why me? Why would someone like her care about someone like me? The truth finally came crashing one night when Eleanor, unable to hold the secret any longer, wept before Lily. She confessed everything, the youth, the mistake, the unbearable pressure that had forced her to give her up, and the years of regret that followed. At first, Lily felt nothing but shock. Anger bubbled inside her. How could the woman who lived in mansions and palaces let her own flesh and blood suffer in alleys? How could she have everything while her daughter had nothing? Lily stormed away, her heart torn open with pain. But destiny doesn't close doors without leaving a crack of light. In the days that followed, Eleanor didn't stop trying. She wrote letters, left messages, waited outside the shelter just to tell Lily she loved her. Slowly, Lily began to see the sincerity in her eyes. She saw the woman not as the First Lady of the United States, not as the billionaire's wife, but as a mother, her mother broken and begging for a second chance. It wasn't easy. Forgiveness never is. But little by little, the ice between them thawed. Lily began to spend time in the White House, hidden from the public eye, and Eleanor poured years of unspoken love into every moment with her. The president himself, though shaken by the scandal it could cause, saw the bond and couldn't deny its power. Eventually, even he accepted her as his own. And when the day came that Eleanor finally introduced Lily not as a charity case, not as a stranger, but as her daughter, the world was stunned. The press tried to spin stories, critics tried to stir controversy, but in the end, something far greater prevailed, the undeniable truth that love, no matter how long it's delayed, still heals. Lily's life transformed, no longer the girl forgotten on the streets, she became the living proof that even in the harshest winters, love can find its way home. Eleanor, once burdened by regret, now walked in freedom, her heart whole at last. If this story touched your heart, please support Stories Collection by liking this video, sharing it with someone who needs hope, and subscribing to the channel. Your engagement helps us continue bringing stories that remind us of the beauty of second chances. Special request before we end. Comment below. Do you believe forgiveness can heal even the deepest wounds? Would you like me to expand this into a full 6,000-word cinematic script? With deeper scenes and detailed pacing, slow burn emotional beats, flashbacks of Eleanor's youth, Lily's struggles, and the public scandal twist. So it's directly ready for a long YouTube video narration?